So a lot of times when I give my opinion on things, I hear a lot of, I don't care what you're saying, I don't care what science says, it worked for me and that's all that matters. Some people will say, I don't know what you're talking about. I've been, dealing with people for years and it has worked for most of my clients. So obviously you're just talking rubbish. Okay, they don't say you're talking rubbish. Well, some people actually imply I'm talking rubbish, but it's okay. Anyway, today I'll be addressing this issue and I'll be addressing why the fact that you feel something worked for you may not mean anything. Absolutely nothing. May not mean anything. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Amaka. If you are joining us for the very first time, and I am an esthetician and I'll be dissecting this topic, this issue today. But this ideology of it worked for my cousin, it worked for my sister, it worked for my friend is what is called anecdotal evidence. So essentially based on people's personal experience rather than a broad research or facts. And usually this is how it usually happens. So you have a skin concern, let's say hyperpigmentation, then you use a cream, then you observe that the hyperpigmentation has gotten better, then you conclude that cream treats hyperpigmentation, and then you spread the gospel. Another scenario, your grandmother never used sunscreen. Your grandmother died at age 200. She lived up to 200 years. Conclusion, sunscreen is not important. In fact, using sunscreen will kill you faster. When you don't use sunscreen, you will live for 100 years. That is the conclusion. So that is how we usually draw our conclusions. We have an issue, we do something, and we conclude that what we did solved the issue. Now, some of these things are reasonable. They are reasonable actually when you look at them and how these things work. But a lot of times they are just flat out untrue. Now, and the thing about anecdotal evidence or giving reviews based on your personal experience is more believable. It is 1,000,001 times more believable than anything anybody has to say. Now, let me read out a conversation that happened in the comment section on Instagram that actually prompted me to do this video today. We posted a picture of this on the store page. So this is the Dr. Teal's body lotion with citrus essential oils, and honestly I'm not a fan of this product. And let me just put a disclaimer, I may not be a fan, but I try to remove myself from my ideologies from the store. They are two independent entities. I'm a person, I'm an esthetician, and I have my opinions, and then I have a store in which we retail and wholesale to an extent a broad range of skincare products. So I don't want to restrict people to buy only what I want. That's just being narrow-minded. All I will assure my audience and my customers is that we wouldn't sell anything that can bleach you or that would damage your skin. You will not find it on the store. But products that I don't particularly subscribe to the practices because of my own strict ideologies, I will not impose it on people. Initially, I struggled with this. I make a video on this, on removing yourself from your business. When I start talking on business related videos, but let me not digress. Let me read out the comment section for you. Now, someone wrote, because it's very important and vital to how conclusions are made and how influential it is on other people. This cream is so good, I recommend it. And that person responded, is this cream good for the face? She then responded, yes, but sunscreen is needed too. And that person asked, nice to know, what exactly does it do? Does it brighten? Does it firm up? I really would want to know. Thank you, and I wait your response. Now, she then replies, innocently, she's just giving her own opinion. She then replies, it doesn't only brighten and tone, it aligns with one's skin color and it cleared my acne. So a body lotion that has a lot of citrus essential oils. I did a video on essential oils, and a part of that video I talked on citrus essential oils, which are one of the most sensitizing things ever. this body lotion cleared her acne. I don't know, but I noticed that the cream did it. And even made my face brighter. Unlike before, that my face used to be darker than my body, but the cream toned my face. I have been using it for 3 years now, but when you want to buy it, use the one that contains citrus. I'm very sure that this person that she was having this conversation with quickly rushed to buy this lotion to probably treat her acne and brighten and tone up her skin. Like, this is a terrible idea for the face, especially if you have acne prone skin. Now, you now understand how influential anecdotal evidence is. Saying something works for me will most likely get someone to go and use that product than a professional saying whatever they want to say. If I talk from morning to night, you see that person that they've convinced that this thing works for, she will not answer me. And what can I use? This thing works for that girl. It brightens her skin, cure acne. But I am 100% sure, let me say 95% sure that she will be disappointed. And let me tell you why people experience different things when using different products, or rather, why anecdotal evidence is very, very unreliable. Now, so what exactly is wrong with this? What exactly is wrong with relying on anecdotal evidence? The first thing is things generally get better with time, or rather, some skin concerns get better with time. For example, hormonal acne. Now, some people during their period, their menstrual cycle, start developing acne, and after their period, the acne clears. Do you get? So let's assume somebody now rubs shea butter when this acne starts, and after the period, the acne goes naturally. You can now infer that shea butter treats acne. And then you spread the gospel. Shea butter treats acne. Whereas, whether or not you had applied shea butter, the acne would have gone. Or maybe that time you applied shea butter, the acne would have gone faster, regardless. But because you applied shea butter, you said shea butter treats acne. And after that time, you keep applying shea butter when you have hormonal acne. And it keeps going after your period. And then you keep thinking to the shea butter. But then you go about spreading the gospel that shea butter treats acne, and then you now see Brother Emeka that has cystic acne applying shea butter every day, shea butter, and yet nothing is happening. You see how that is misleading, even though you did not intentionally do that. Secondly, other factors could actually be the contributing factor. Now, let's say, for example, you have hyperpigmentation, and you started a hyperpigmentation routine. You started using tretinoin, you incorporated a kojic acid serum, you started exfoliating, and you started all these things. I know these things take time to work, and these things are effective in treating hyperpigmentation. And let's say that you were ideally supposed to see a result after 1 month. And now you use these things for 3.5 weeks. You see slight change, but it's not entering your eye. Then you go and buy shea butter and start using it. And all of a sudden, you are seeing that you're getting brighter. What is the conclusion? Shea butter helps with hyperpigmentation. In fact, shea butter treats hyperpigmentation under 2 days. Whereas you have forgotten that for the past 3 weeks, you have been consistently using ingredients that take time to work, but have been tried and true in the treatment of hyperpigmentation. But then when you're telling the story, it is that shea butter treats hyperpigmentation. Also, people usually remember the last thing they use. Do you get? So you can be doing a lot of things. Do you understand? And all of them have been working, but then the effect is, has not yet shown. Most times we remember the last thing that we use, even though that last thing did absolutely nothing, but our mind is just, no, it must have been the last thing that was used. Once again, very unreliable and very, very wrong. You now see somebody that has melasma, that fighting for melasma for years. You now tell the person, shea butter, under 3 days, person that's using shea butter and it's not working. Person is now angry and frustrated. Simply, just like stretch marks, do you understand? Am I deviating? But let's just use stretch marks. Someone may not be predisposed to having stretch marks. Like people in their lineage don't have stretch marks. They now apply Vaseline and they don't have stretch marks. Then you unfortunately, it's in your genes. You carry it and run with it. Sister, there are individual peculiarities that allow things happen for some people and other people things happen for other people. Also, there are distortions to the way we remember things. Human beings don't remember things the same way. Now, has it ever happened to you that you and somebody experienced the same thing but are giving different accounts of the same event and both of you are sure that it happened the way it is in your head? Or you see somebody and both of us are seeing the same, both of us are seeing different things. I mean, see somebody now and I'll be like, she got darker. And I'm supposed to be like, no, she got lighter. We are seeing the same person, but we are just seeing two different things. Do you get? And sometimes your brain tricks you to believe what it wants you to believe. Now, have you ever seen when let me say you want to start losing weight, you now start taking slimming tea, and all of a sudden when you look at the mirror it feels like I'm slimming down now, but then when you climb scale you added like 2 kg, or when you try to zip your clothes, your clothes is refusing to zip up, but you are wondering, I'm slimming down. No, your brain is tricking you to think you are slimming down because that is what you want to believe. Do you understand? Especially if the products you buy are expensive. You may buy expensive skincare and believe that skincare is working. Do you get? So when you apply it, no, I can see a change, whereas there's no change. So do you get? So you can't really rely on our memory like 100%, except the difference is so clear. A lot of times your brain will be playing tricks on you, and that's why sometimes they say take pictures. You want to lose weight or you want to clear your skin, take pictures, keep taking pictures so that you can see the progression. Otherwise you may be looking at your face and be seeing an improvement whereas there's no improvement, or you may not be seeing any improvement whereas there is like there has been a lot of improvement. I'll give another example. A lot of times, or I won't say a lot of times, but it has happened severally where one of our clients is recommended a routine and the client comes back and is like, your routine is not working and it's been 4 weeks, it's been 5 weeks, and we go back to the initial picture that was sent to us and we say snap a picture and send to us and we compare it and we send it to the client, and a lot of times it's like night and day. The difference is clear, but you see, maybe the client has an expectation and that expectation has not been met. It feels like it's not working. So sometimes you can't even rely on your own memory. So someone may be saying something has worked for me, it worked under 5 days, whereas it didn't even work. Do you get? So you can see how, it is very unreliable, relying on what somebody said she experienced or he experienced. And this is where science comes in. Now, science comes in to create fair tests, to create a level playing field. It tries to eliminate all the are you sure or are you not sure, like real conducted scientific studies eliminate all the variables. Do you get? They put everything at an equal footing. For example, if they want to test if a cream is effective in treating acne, they will apply it. You can do a split test. So they'll apply one part to the cream and everything remains the same. They don't introduce anything to that routine. Do you understand? Everything remains the same, and they watch it and they compare the part that had the cream and the part that did not have the cream after a period of time. Do you get? Because if both sides heal, it's obvious that this is something that would have healed regardless of the cream. And also they run these tests among different caliber of people in different climate, different races, to ensure that it is not fluke, to ensure that in every circumstance, every situation, every gender, it works the same way. So you have eliminated bias. They also bring in third-party observers, and sometimes third-party observer will not even know on which part of the face or on which individual the test product was and the placebo product was. So you just bring unbiased people to just make observations, so they ensure that the test is fair. So when they conduct their studies and say this thing works, they have conducted it. It's not I thought, I am not sure. You do not know that you put salicylic acid. You don't know that there's not all of that. They eliminate all of these. But now there are also problems with scientific study. Now, the first one is that there are not a lot of robust and good scientific studies that have been conducted on a lot of cosmetic ingredients. Now, most of the studies that are being conducted are focused on drugs, because I mean that is seemed as really important. Drugs and ingredients that actually address severe skin concerns. Most of all these our type of ingredients made for brightening, for this one, a lot of scientific robust studies have not been conducted on them. So even if scientific studies are superior, they don't have a lot of studies on a lot of ingredients. Do you get? And some of the scientific studies are not robust. They're not conducted the way they should be conducted. Do you get? Maybe they were not split studies. They didn't have a placebo model to compare the results with. Do you understand? Also, this test may be a small study conducted on just a small group of people. The test may also not just be wide and diverse enough. So there are limitations to these things. So it's not like I'm saying all scientific studies were done properly. No, there are some that have not been done robustly. And for that, even though anecdotal evidence are not reliable, they're not totally useless, because there are times when that is all that we have. Like, we just have very minimal study and a lot of anecdotal evidence. Basically, it works for me, it worked for me, it worked for me. We don't know why it works for you, but it worked for you. We'll try it out. Do you understand? But what I would advise you to do is, if there are cases where there are no enough scientific studies and you have to rely on people's reviews, you should do it in a smart manner, because there are a lot of, it can't be manipulated. For example, reviews you see on some companies' websites are doctored. They pay people to leave those reviews there. Some people that give reviews online are paid. You don't get twisted though. Like, the fact that someone is paid does not mean the person is lying. Do you get? But some people, their reviews can be influenced because they were paid. So these are things you should just bear in mind when taking reviews. Also remember that some people's reviews may not apply to you. So somebody that has an oily skin that stays in a cold climate may like a product, but you that has an oily skin that stays in a humid climate may not like that product. So there's different nuances in people's individual experiences. Another thing again is, a lot of people are not motivated to give reviews except there's a problem. Like me, if I like a product, and it's amazing, it will not occur to me to go on the website and give a review. But if I hate a product and I really hate that product, the product just destroyed my skin, I may be more ginger to go on a website and leave a review, because like people must know. So you may go on the website and see 10 bad reviews, 10 1-star. Now, that does not really represent anything, because it could be that out of the 1,000 people they have sold to, only 10 people did not like it, but those 10 people hated it so much that they had to leave a review. Do you understand? Also, some people don't update their reviews. So I can give a review on a product and it's amazing, but maybe 3 months down the line, I found out that it just damaged my skin barrier. Do you get? But then it may not occur to me to go and update my review. So in the absence of scientific studies, which, as I pointed out, we need more for a lot of ingredients, but in absence of that, we have to rely on reviews. But then these are some of the limitations that also make it, aside the ones I mentioned, how our human mind is not really reliable and different other factors. These other things are also things that can influence the reviews that we see. My final thought is that if you have a serious skin concern that you want to treat, use ingredients that have scientific study. If you have acne, for example, please use benzoyl peroxide, please use tretinoin. Use things that have been tried and true and have scientific backing. Don't joke when you have a skin concern. It's different if you don't really have any serious skin concern and you just want to try products out. You can try things here and there, but you have a major skin concern, stick with only ingredients that have been tried and true and have substantial evidence backing. Also, anytime there's a clash between anecdotal evidence and science, always tilt towards science. For example, someone says coconut oil cured my acne. science has shown that coconut oil is comedogenic and would most likely clog your pores and worsen your acne. Please say okay to that person and tilt towards what science is saying. It would honestly save you a lot of headache and regret. You can now understand why you may be passionate about something haven't worked for you, but yet it may feel like I'm saying something else and I'm wondering, what the hell is this girl saying? It's just that I base my videos on what is backed by science and less on anecdotal evidence, because I honestly can't back that up. I don't know for real whether or not that ingredient would work on the majority of people. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.